I'm a professional artist working from my studio in Essex in the UK and painting plein air in the countryside. This week I'm painting Blakeney Quay on the North Norfolk coast here in the UK. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is create a fin of light coming from the right hand side. So that's the first thing. Gradually weaken that off like that. And I suppose we could do with some blue. Oh, it's nice to have a bit of that colour in the water. We're going to have some water there. So there's the water. There's the sky. Now I'm going to clean that brush thoroughly. Take all the paint out of it if I can. And over this side I'm adding Prussian Windsor blue, Prussian blue. Let's go really deep with that. There we go. And pull that in. Try not to get a green feel. I'm going to put some red in that and all. So let's use the cadmium red into that. So we get a nice separation. Get a funnel of light coming from that left hand side there. There we go. Nice and dark. There we go. Look at that. How dramatic is that? That's what we're looking for. That lovely Norfolk sky. You know, the sort of drama you get in the North Norfolk coast. Been there many times, so that's how I'm going to paint it. And then as we come down, I'm going to thin that out and create like a light area along the sort of in the distance there somewhere. That's more or less my distance, I think, somewhere about that. A little bit of that, a little bit of that, and we just allow that to completely dry. Now, just before that completely dries, I'm going to use the maul stick to rest. I'm going to establish my horizon line. See where it's still slightly damp and it's just running up. It's that lovely coastal path that runs high up along like a bank really, and then the building will come there. So it's always a good idea to put these sort of things in while it's still damp, particularly distance areas, because that's where it you're far likely to be successful if it's damp and you get a light feel to that. There we go. And if you want to hold that bottom line, you just get a damp brush and lift off some colour, just like that. And that's my distance. Soften that a little, that side. And soften it as it comes towards the building. There we go. So that's the distance land. Now I'm just putting in the shadow work of that lovely old building. And that's coming down there like that. I think it joins up there actually. Yes, I think it does. There's a window there. That's it. That runs like that. I'm not counting the windows. I'm not even putting every single one in. It's just purely a matter of depicting a feeling of light hitting some of those windows. Not all of them, of course. And working my way along like that, really. It's a bit of a curve to the building there, so that's why those two windows are less... it's like curves around, so there you've got the windows here that are quite small, then they get larger, and of course the ones that face you around the corner there just get bigger. And this is just the dark shadow colour really. And all we need to do now is to come right down and create the shadow that runs down the entrance path or entrance road to the building. Now, what have we got? We've got a chimney, So we'll put that up like that, using all this shadow colour. It's only the sunlit sides that will have light of some sort. There we go. So we can come right down with that. Not too much detail required. And so on, really. Now I've established the building purely with lights and dark tones. Now I'm coming this side to pick up the like the salt marsh that's standing up like that. Comes down. Just trying to get the balance right. And oh yes, then that comes down to there like that. Perfect. And we come down to what in effect is a like a beach area really. We may as well put some red on that too, just to try and give it a little bit of a warmth there. And then it comes down into like a beach, like a muddy beach. So it's a bit of every colour really. A slightly green, so we need a bit more red in it. It's really 3 primaries that gives you that grey. And don't too much, want a bit of that to run in. Yeah, that's fine. And that then heads off just around the corner of that beach and sort of finishes there. When you've not got drawing, you don't always get it right, but this is a you know, I just want to create a colourful sort of feel to what is one of my favourite parts of England, really, the North Norfolk coast. For those of you that have never been there, well, it is worth a visit, but we don't want too many going because it's such a lovely part of the world. So to a large extent undisturbed. So that's that. So we've got the building shape. We've got the begin to see the way the tide will be coming in. Right. Well, as you can see, I've moved on a bit. I've put in the quay, put some detail on the boats. But first, I just want to put in this this more foreground building here that tends to just cut through like that, down like that. So it's gable end there. Just got to get this gable end the right shape. Let's just come up a little higher and have that a little bit, there we go, a little bit sharper. Whether there was a window in there, I'm not sure. We'll leave 1 or 2 bits and pieces just in case. And that more or less finishes somewhere about there, I think. So there you go. 1 or 2 little dots and dashes here and there. Perhaps the odd figure being left. Not sure whether we can do that. The paper's a bit damp. Maybe possible. There we go. And then, of course, we have the shadow that runs from that across that area there. Here we are. Running out of picture will be the red tile roofing, like that. Not too light, but not too dark. And the lovely red tile wall, which would be like that. And that then completes that right-hand building, coming along quite nicely. Now I'm just going to put a couple of figures in the foreground, perhaps a child there, just over the edge, just sitting there like that, and perhaps, oh, I know what they're doing. They're crabbing, aren't they? Of course they are. They'd be crabbing. There you go. And of course a parent presumably would be with them, and this parent is wearing a red coat. So the scale of this is very important, of course, which as always is the case. And the head there you go. Not sure the scale is quite correct, so make that figure just a little bit taller. There we go. I think that does it, really. Take the surround away and sign up. All it needs now is a signature. I think that's going in here. And there you have it. Blakeney Quay with the Blakeney Hotel, North Norfolk.